Welcome to another Jake Bakes. The leaves are starting to crinkle, there's a cold chill in the air. It's my favorite time of year, fall. Or as some people know it, pumpkin spice latte season, Han Solo season, Ugg boot season, one of those, pick your favorite. But my favorite reason is because all of the culinary turns to these warm spices of cinnamon, clove, ginger, allspice, and we're gonna bring all of that today into the kitchen with a pumpkin roll, which is delicious pumpkin-y cake with cream cheese filling. So let's get baking. So for this recipe, we're going to do this in two parts, one part for the cake and the other for the filling while it's baking. So for the cake, we're going to want to get together 1 cup of granulated white sugar, 3/4 cups all-purpose flour, 3 large eggs, 2/3 cup of pumpkin, canned is fine if you can find fresh, pinch of salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and then my spice mix is 3 1/2 teaspoons of each of these spices. Well, sorry, a 1/2 teaspoon of each one, so you don't get 3. That'd be crazy. A 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, and just actually a 1/4 teaspoon of clove. I forgot. Clove is a very, very powerful spice, so you don't want to go too crazy with it. Today I'm going to be using some vanilla bean paste, which is actually just like a more concentrated form of vanilla extract. They're the same tablespoon for tablespoon, but I like this one because it's a little bit thicker and you can pack more vanilla flavor into it. Now to get started, we're just gonna crack our 3 eggs into a bowl. I'm gonna grab my sugar, a whole cup of sugar. It's gonna seem like a lot, but don't worry. Right into the eggs. This is a super simple recipe. I honestly was surprised when I first made it. I had never made one before and had seen it on the Great British Baking Show as a Swiss roll. So what you want to do is beat the eggs and the sugar together until they become slightly just paler and a little bit thicker. But yeah, just do this for about 2 to 3 minutes just to get it nice and fluffy. All right, so now we've got it nicely incorporated. It's thickened up just slightly. So now we're gonna add the pumpkin. 2/3 cup pumpkin. And these just go right in here. I'm just gonna throw that everywhere too. Just all over the counter. So then mix this in. As soon as this is mixed in, super simple. That's done. So now wet ingredients are done. We wanna do the dry ingredients all together now. So grab my other bowl. And to this, now we're gonna add the dry ingredients. We need 1/3 cup measurement of flour. So there's a 1/2 cup and another 1/4. A 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. That gives a nice double action sort of rising. I'm gonna add just like a good heavy pinch of salt. Salt makes all desserts taste better. And then my delicious spice mix. So that goes in there. And then I'm just gonna whisk this, or spatula this around. And so now, once that's whisked together so you don't lose anything, just toss this into your dry ingredients. Ugh, the spices smell so good. So you don't want to over mix this. That's the one sort of technical thing you don't want to get into. Like what I do is a circle, cut through, then fold over. Circle, cut through, fold over. We're good to go. That's the cake. It's so easy. Like I said, I was really surprised at how easy this was. Actually, I forgot to add my favorite thing, vanilla. If I would have forgotten that, I would have been very sad. A teaspoon of my vanilla paste. And you'll see when I pour this out, it's a lot thicker. And that is just like super potent vanilla flavor. Now I have the vanilla mixed in. I'm gonna go ahead and get my pan ready. The most recipes that I saw called for a jelly roll tin. You can buy those. I would rather use just a cookie tin, as long as it has a nice lip on it, because we're gonna make that cake and it needs something to rise in. The one thing you will need that is not necessarily intuitive is some parchment paper or baking paper. Parchment paper is what's going to help us get the cake out after it's done and baked. And this is just gonna sit in here. Once that's in there, I'm going to just pour the cake batter in. Get all of that goodness in there. Alrighty. So once it's in here, you gotta smooth it all out. And you want it to be as level as possible because the cake will rise in funny little places. As long as you get them pretty well in each corner, it'll be good. So we are good to go. And I'm gonna put this in the oven at 375 for the greatest thing about this is it's very short cooking time, about 13 to 15 minutes until when you touch it, it's a little springy to the touch. All right, while your cake's in the oven and baking, we need to get the counter ready for the roll, actually. So this is the one sort of thing that's unique to this, and this is how we get that roll at the end, is that as soon as it comes out of the oven, you immediately flip it out onto the counter, onto a clean tea towel or a cotton towel of some sort that's heavily dusted with powdered sugar. So I'm gonna just take some powdered sugar, put it in this little sieve here, and then sprinkle it. I want to get the rest of this nicely. You want to get it heavily dusted in there. So now, I'm going to grab my cake and flip it out, which makes a nice, fun little poofy thing. Alrighty. Alright. And here's where you need to be brave, because you've got to do it quickly. Voila. If you don't do it very quickly, the cake will slide around because it's on that parchment paper, and that parchment paper will move. Now we just gotta take this off. Take this off. And you can see the cake's underneath, nicely done. And then you're just gonna peel this off. And also the cake's gonna be hot, so be careful. But it's not too bad. You can just pull it off. After I roll everything up, at the end, I want to store it back in this because I don't like to waste my parchment paper. Now you have it like this. It's warm, but it's not too bad. So you just want to take this and roll. So I like to put just a little bit over the edge so that we have a good start to it. And don't be worried. The cake is very warm, which means it'll roll super easily. And just roll it up. Voila. And then you're gonna leave it to cool until it's easy to handle, completely cooled. And that is your cake roll. And then we're gonna get your cream cheese stuff going, which is my favorite part because it is delectable. The ingredients you're gonna need for your cream cheese filling are really easy. An 8-ounce package of cream cheese, and then a stick of butter, about a cup of powdered sugar, and I like to throw in a little bit of vanilla in there too. So you can either use the vanilla extract or that vanilla bean paste we were using before. Either one's up to you, it just depends on how much vanilla you want this flavor to take. I'm going to just toss my stick of butter in. It is nicely softened so that I can actually stir it. And I want to just beat this around so it gets all over, because when I add the cream cheese in, I don't want it to just stick in there because this cream cheese is going to be hard to mix in. I make this usually in a stand mixer, but you can use a hand mixer. You can do it by hand. It's up to you, really. Whatever's easiest, because if you don't have a stand mixer, it's going to just be a pain in the butt to try to go get one or anything like that, and you don't need it. It just takes a little bit longer to do. Just make sure all of your ingredients are really soft. And at the very end, you'll add in your vanilla. Completely softened, it's super easy to do. And add my vanilla in. Then this is gonna be done. So I'm gonna finish this up while the cake is finishing cooling. Then we'll get back and we'll actually put it together and get this super pumpkin awesome roll together. Now that we have our frosting and filling done, it's our cream cheese stuff, I've gone ahead and grabbed my cake that was in the fridge cooling. I moved it over into an actual parchment paper so that it would keep a little bit longer in the fridge. We're just gonna unroll this and we'll see that it's nice and easy to roll back up. And then we're gonna slather it with the cream cheese filling and then roll it back up. Ooh, yeah. Alrighty, and you'll see that it already has nicely, like, it's already curled slightly here. So that's perfect. So then we take our cream cheese filling and pour it on. So you just want to get this slathered all the way to the edges because you want the whole thing to stick together. If you have any weak spots, you want it to keep it together. So you want everything to the edges. And once this is covered and good and ready to go, we're going to stick this in the fridge for about 2 hours. I actually make this the day ahead. That way, whenever I have people over or I'm making this for a holiday or anything like that, I'm not running around on the holiday just like trying to figure out what I'm going to make. So now that we have it all completed and gooey, we're going to just roll it up. Take this one edge here, so you're putting a little bit of pressure on here and sort of, see how it's already rolling up a little bit? Just want to do that. And then get it tightly rolled here. And then it's just going to roll itself. Voila. Alrighty. And keep it paused just on that little lower crease. So I rolled it all the way over to that crease. And once it's like this, roll it back up like this, because you want to let it sit and let that cream cheese harden a bit. Roll it up. Put this bad boy in the fridge for about, like I said, 1 to 2 hours or best overnight for the next day. And then we'll pull it out and get this decorated and going. So now's the big reveal. It's been sitting in there overnight and we are ready to go. Let's unroll this. Look at that. Ah, yum. Now just to clean it up, we are going to cut off the edges so that it looks nice and straight, and because I want to eat them. This will be nice because we'll be able to see the swirl better. Now, you show that swirl to Paul and Mary on the Great British Baking Show and they will just pee themselves with excitement. And then on the other side, do the same thing. And look at that. Swirl. It's just like magic. And you saw it was how easy it was. So just to make it look super pretty, I always get a little bit of powdered sugar, dust it over on top. And voila. It is absolutely gorgeously beautiful. I don't want to ruin this presentation, so I'm just gonna actually eat this little tiny bit of it here. Yeah, you're gonna need to make this. So easy, 15 minutes in the oven, a little chilling time, which is gonna be the longest time you wait for this recipe. But everything comes together so simply, and your in-laws and everybody else that you know, or your coworkers, for in my case, will love you for it. As the seasons start to change, we come back to, being more introspective and thankful, and I am just so thankful this year for you guys tuning in and really engaging, and it's so amazing to read all of your comments and your requests and just little jokes. They're amazing. So please, please keep doing that. And just like this pumpkin roll, this video is best shared amongst friends. So share this video, like it, and then subscribe to our channel for more Jake Bakes in this coming year and the rest of this year too. We'll see you here next time.